This ship is worth more than $50 million. And right now, somewhere in the world, its owner is deciding whether it is cheaper to simply let it go. Not sell it, not scrap it for parts. Just walk away. Every year, ships like this one are abandoned, left at anchor, left in port, sometimes left with the crew still on board, unpaid for months. And the strange part is this: walking away from a $50 million asset is not a mistake. It is, in a specific and predictable set of situations, the most rational financial decision a shipping company can make. To understand why, you have to understand what actually makes a ship expensive in the first place. And it is not what you think. Most people assume the big cost of owning a ship is buying it. That is actually the easy part. A used mid-size container ship might cost anywhere from $15 to $60 million. Expensive, but it is a one-time number. The real cost is what happens after you own it. Crew wages, fuel, which on a large vessel can run tens of thousands of dollars a day, insurance, port fees every time it docks, maintenance, which never stops because salt water destroys steel continuously, and classification society inspections, which a ship must pass every single year to legally operate. A large container ship can cost between $15,000 and $30,000 a day just to keep running, whether it is full of cargo or completely empty, whether it is sailing or sitting still. The bills do not pause. Now picture the moment a shipping company runs into trouble. Freight rates crash, a recession hits. A company overextends itself buying ships during a boom, the way several did right before 2008. Suddenly, that $50 million asset is not generating $50 million of value. It is generating $30,000 a day of pure cost, with no cargo contracts to offset it. So here is the actual decision a shipping company faces when a vessel becomes unprofitable. Option 1. Keep operating it. Pay the crew, the fuel, the insurance, the fees. Hope freight rates recover before the company runs out of cash. Option 2. Sell it. But in a depressed market, with every other struggling company also trying to sell ships, the price collapses. A $50 million ship might fetch $8 million, sometimes less than the cost of towing it somewhere to be scrapped. Option 3. Scrap it properly. This sounds responsible. It is also expensive. Proper ship recycling, done according to international environmental law, can cost more than the scrap steel is worth. Option 4. Stop paying. Let the ship sit at anchor. Let the flag registry, the port authority, and eventually the crew themselves deal with the legal mess. For a company already in financial distress, with limited assets and mounting debt, Option 4 can be the cheapest path available, not because abandonment has no cost, because every other option costs more, faster, with money the company does not have. According to the International Labour Organization and the International Maritime Organization, the number of recorded ship abandonment cases has risen sharply over the past decade. In some recent years, over 1,000 seafarers were left stranded on abandoned vessels at the same time, unpaid, sometimes for over a year, stuck on a ship that, financially, no longer exists for the company that owns it. This is the part shipping companies do not advertise. When a vessel is abandoned, the crew is often the last priority and the first casualty. Maritime law technically protects them. In practice, enforcement across different flag states and jurisdictions is slow, inconsistent, and frequently powerless against a company that has already run out of money. Here is the part that makes this possible at scale. Most large ships are not registered in the country where their owner is based. They are registered under what is called a flag of convenience. Panama, Liberia, the Marshall Islands, countries that offer lower registration fees, lighter regulation, and fewer questions. Roughly 70% of the world's merchant fleet sails under a flag with no real connection to its actual ownership. This matters because the flag state is technically responsible for enforcing labor and safety law on that ship. But a small registry with limited resources has little practical power to chase down a shipping company that has already gone bankrupt or simply vanished into a web of shell companies. The owner can be a single ship company, registered in one country, flagged in another, managed by an operator based in a third, insured by an underwriter in a fourth. When something goes wrong, untangling who is actually responsible can take years. Some abandoned crews have waited over 2 years for unpaid wages to be resolved through international maritime committees. The fragmented ownership structure that makes global shipping efficient is the exact same structure that makes accountability nearly impossible when a company decides walking away is the cheapest option. The ship from the beginning of this video is still out there. Real ships like it are anchored off coastlines right now, in exactly this position. Somewhere, a finance team is running the same calculation: cost to operate versus cost to sell versus cost to scrap versus cost to simply stop. And in a system built across dozens of flag states, shell companies, and jurisdictions with little power to enforce against each other, stopping is sometimes the answer that costs the company the least. The ship does not disappear when this happens. It just stops moving. No port wants it without payment. No buyer wants the liability. No flag state has the resources to force a resolution. It sits, sometimes for years, a $50 million object anchored a few miles from shore that has become, on paper, worth less than nothing to the only entity that ever claimed to own it.